Hello, welcome back to the Lita Boulevard Journal. I'm Lily Evans and I'm here with
Max Rosenzweig.
and
Let me write.
let's get right onto the news.
We all know TikTok is the newest thing, but did you know LBMS has its own TikTok star? He not only has over 117,000 followers, but he's also a teacher. Here's an interview with Mr. Papetti.
I'm Isabella Alley, and I'm here with Mr. Papetti, the math teacher. So, Mr. Papetti, recently, one of your TikTok videos went viral with a whopping 2.5 million likes and almost 11 million views. What are your thoughts on this?
So this was actually one of the craziest experiences of my TikTok life because this video took me literally 6 seconds to create. And I've spent hours making some other videos, but just the fact that this one took 6 seconds to make and it got 2.5 million likes and it was viewed by 11 million people is just what this app could do to you, because you could spend a great deal of time putting together this thing that you think is a masterpiece, but when it comes down to it, it's just what everybody else wants to see. And in this case, it was just me sitting at my computer.
That's crazy. What do you think are the positives and negatives of all these social media tools like TikTok and YouTube?
All right, so I think that with anything that you could always find positives and negatives with it. And so just focusing on the positives is what I like to do on my social media platforms. And that's always incorporating appropriate sounds, appropriate images, appropriate videos. And as long as you always do that, the app itself is always going to be positive. So I think it's always possible to keep things appropriate and be entertaining at the same time.
That's cool. Are there any other exciting news that you'd like to share?
Well, there's actually one pretty big development, and this has been in the works for like the past couple of weeks now, but I'm officially sponsored on TikTok. I have my first sponsor, and this sponsor is something that probably everybody knows about. If you've ever seen those 99-cent cans of Arizona iced tea, Arizona, the beverage company, did sponsor me on TikTok. So they sent me a whole bunch of stuff like this hat, and I've got this green t-shirt. They sent me a fanny pack, although I'm not a big wearer of fanny packs, and a whole bunch of other merchandise and products. And I'll be incorporating those into my videos in the future too.
That's amazing. Thank you for your time, Mr. Papetti.
Well, thank you for having me, Isabella.
Mr. Papetti, do you have a pencil I could borrow?
Oh, well, sure, right here. Here you go. There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now back to the studio.
On Friday, we had an assembly
With Brent Daniels.
We were able to get an interview. Let's check it out.
Matthew Diamond here, reporting from the Lido Boulevard Journal. And I have a very exclusive interview with the one and only Brent Daniels. So, Brent, I did some research on your website, and it turns out that you've made music and trailers for really big names out there like Disney, Marvel, Netflix, Hulu, and all that. And that is very impressive.
Thank you, Matthew.
The assembly was actually very nice. It was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
And to be honest, that music wasn't that bad. I would use that as a ringtone.
Cool.
So, let's jump into the questions.
All right.
So, the first question is, when did you first start making music?
I started taking piano lessons in 4th grade, so I was 10. And I should say my parents kind of made me take piano lessons. It wasn't, I think I liked the idea of playing around with the thing, but I wasn't super into practicing initially. But as I got older, I really got into it because I could see how the lessons were helping me play stuff I was hearing on the radio and music that I really enjoyed. So, but pretty young. Yeah, so 9 or 10 years old. And I have to say, I wasn't very good at it for a very long time. So, but that's what learning's all about, right?
Yeah. And the next question is, when did you start putting technology into your music?
That kind of happened in about high school. So, and that kind of went along with the music I was listening to on the radio, like pop music and electronic music. I was really curious how they were making the sounds. Like, where did that sound come from? So it was actually ninth grade is when I saved up enough money to buy a cheap synthesizer. It was about $100, and I used that for a long time and really explored everything I could about it. And that's the first piece of technology. And this is before we have all the technology that you and all your classmates and stuff that I was showing in the assembly today existed. So there was a lot less stuff then, but it was definitely the first technology I used, and it was enough to really get me into it. And it's technology's been a huge part of the way I produce music ever since. And now for anybody, even if you're just playing like a guitar or you're just singing, technology is an important part of the recording process. So even if you're not making more electronic sounding music, like if you're not making dance music, you're still going to be using a computer to record a person singing. So technology is important for any style of music nowadays.
Nice. So what software and instrument or computer do you use to create your music?
That's a great question. I use a MacBook Pro as my main studio computer nowadays. Mostly because when I travel, I can take my entire studio with me now, and the computers are fast enough that a laptop is more than enough power. It didn't used to be, but now they are. So I use a MacBook Pro, and my main composing production software is Logic Pro X, which is like the upgraded version of GarageBand, which a lot of students have access to, which I mentioned today on their iPads and iPhones. That's my main hardware, my main software. And then inside that software, I use lots of different plugins and software synthesizers and samplers and some other software for doing sound design. But it's all, we say, in the box. It means it's all in a machine. And it's something that
Yes.
all you students can do on whatever platform you're on.
The next question is, how long does it take for you to create and finish a song?
I can actually tell you that because I use an app that keeps track of every second that I'm using Logic Pro. So that helps me to plan my production schedule, to figure out how many tracks I can get done in between performances and eating lunch. So the music that I make pretty much exclusively right now is music for trailers. So those kind of tracks, which end up being about 2, maybe maximum 3 minutes long, with a lot of custom sound design and custom instrumental sounds that I create, and signature sounds and unique sonic elements just for that particular piece of music. All of that rolled together, on the average, takes me about maybe 25 hours. The longest one would be about 40 hours. And if it's 40 hours, it means I'm having a hard time with the track, or they're having some kind of problems. And the fastest I've ever done is about on a track like for trailers is maybe like 15 hours. But it averages out to be about 25.
Now, what is the most exciting part of your job?
Two things. One is when I get a track that I've made used in a trailer, hearing it on TV or on YouTube, or seeing it in a Marvel trailer, that's definitely really exciting because I love movies. I have since I was a kid, and it's exciting to be part of some pretty cool movies. So just that's an awesome reward itself, and also because I worked really hard to make the music for that, and there's no guarantee when I make a piece of music it's going to get used in a trailer. So if I got in the trailer, a lot of things kind of lined up for that to happen, and the people worked hard to make the trailer, and I did my part, and it's just exciting to be part of that process. So that's thrilling. The other thing that's, I think, the most fun, and by saying two things, I guess it's a tie. The other thing is just doing it, because the process of making the music, even if it doesn't get used in a trailer, that's my goal, but even if it doesn't get used, I'm usually learning something when I'm doing it, and I'm definitely having fun. Making music for me is something that I would do for fun, even if it wasn't my career, but it's also my career, so I spend a lot of time doing it. So I feel very privileged to be doing something that is super fun for me, super rewarding, and it also happens to be something that I do for my career. So just doing it is fun. You get a real, and you students might have the same experience when you're learning an instrument, when you're practicing, when you're playing in an ensemble, or you're singing in a choir. That feeling you get of just, this is amazing, and you feel uplifted. That's the experience I feel just sitting here in my studio. This is my studio by myself with headphones on, making sounds and music. It's like being in a concert with yourself. It's a lot of fun. So that is really rewarding.
Yeah, I could imagine having your own music on a really famous brand of TVs and movies. That must be a really big goal of yours, like an accomplishment when you do so. So yeah, that's nice. Which project are you most proud of?
On the one hand, my music has been used in some stuff that isn't as high profile, but I really liked the piece of music that I did, or that it was just cool to be a part of. For example, I did a track that it was used in the trailer for an independent horror movie that Rob Zombie made. And before the movie came out, he played the trailer for the unreleased movie at one of his shows, and he put that on Instagram. So that was cool to see a crowd of people like going crazy, seeing a trailer for a movie that wasn't out yet that was using my music. And it's an independent film, so it's not like a big Marvel movie or something, but that was definitely cool. Like, Rob Zombie's a cool musician. On the other hand, getting something used in a trailer, like I did music that was used in the trailer for Gemini Man and Terminator Dark Fate this past fall. Those are bigger movies that it's cool to see my music in those kinds of movies. The biggest movie that I was been fortunate to have my music used in for one of the trailers would be a Marvel movie like Black Panther, which was a great movie and seen by a lot of people. So to have a very small part in really just the advertising for that film by having my music used in the trailer was pretty thrilling. So that was really exciting, and I'm definitely proud of the music I did as well that was used for that trailer. Was a piece that probably took me about 30 hours, and I felt when I was doing it, yeah, this track's really working out. So I love when I finish a track that to me it felt like it just worked and gelled the whole time I was doing it. And then when I finished it, I'm like, yeah, I like that piece of music. And then it was used in a trailer for a movie that was really cool. That's kind of like the biggest win of all. So to me, that was pretty thrilling. I actually have the trailer here. If you guys want to see it, you can hear my music that was used and the trailer in the trailer. Do you want to see it?
Definitely.
Let's check it out. So this is a 30-second TV spot, and it's on Marvel's website, or not their website. It's on their YouTube channel, and this would have played before the movie opened on TV. And here it is. Check it out.
Black Panther. Must feel good. Sitting here comfortable. What do you want? Your secrets. Your weapons. I'ma burn it all. This ends today. Who need a hero? Black Panther. You need a hero. Rated PG-13.
I should say that the guy saying "You need a hero" is not me. That's Kendrick Lamar, who I did not meet. The trailer editor put that vocal in the trailer on top of my track, which was also very cool. So yeah, so that was that. That's a bit of what I do musically these days.
That was awesome.
Thank you, man.
It's even more awesome because Black Panther is my favorite Marvel movie they made. I actually just recently watched it.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, blown away. I didn't expect that much from it, and I was like, wow. So really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for the second one. I think it comes out in 2021. I think it's when that's slated for. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That should wrap up the interview. Thank you very much, Brent Daniels, for coming on this interview. And Matthew Diamond from the Lido Boulevard Journal, signing off.
Thank you, Matthew. Thanks for having me in your school. Nice to meet all your classmates, and thanks for a great interview. Have a great rest of the school year.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Let's go see the weather with Noemi Wright.
Hello, and welcome back to Weather with Noemi. I am Noemi Wright, and this is LBMS's Weather Channel. Let's get right into it. Today, the high is 56 and the low is 43, and it is super sunny, so it's a perfect day to go on a bike ride with your family. Tomorrow, the high is 53 and the low is 46, so it's a perfect day to stay inside, watch a movie, or even just bake some cookies. On Thursday, the high will be 56 and the low will be 54, and there's a 50% chance of precipitation. Thanks for watching Weather with Noemi. I am Noemi Wright, and this is the LBMS Weather Channel. Back to you, Lily.
The LBMS News team is holding a new broadcast called Cooking with Stefania Robinson. She will be showing you her amazing cooking skills.
Oh, hello, and welcome to Cooking with Stefania. I'm Stefania, and today we're going to be making some apple cinnamon pancakes. Now you're going to mix all of your ingredients together until it's well combined. And finally, add as much cinnamon and nutmeg as your heart desires. Now that you're done with your dry ingredients, you can move on to your wet. So in a smaller bowl, you're going to add all your wet ingredients. 3 tablespoons melted butter, 1 egg, 1 1/4 cup milk, and 1 tablespoon sugar. Now mix the combination until it's well combined. And now it's time to cut up your apples. Not too thin and not too thick. And now set it off to the side. And now combine all of your ingredients. And now for the final touch, you can add your apples. All you have to do is grease your pan and make your pancakes. Ding! And now it's done! So now we're gonna try them because we need to see if they're good or if they're bad. How could they be bad? It's better. It's good. I kind of like it. I like it.
Thank you for watching the Lido Boulevard Journal. Signing off, Lily Evans,
Max Rosenzweig.
and
Noemi Wright.
stay tuned after the credits for the fun fact of the day.
Did you know there are over 800 million users on TikTok and over 1.2 billion downloads?
Dang, dang, diggity, dang, 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 diggity, dang, dang.